Hello and happy Saturday. Hello and happy Saturday. We are out on our last long run. Last long run. So I just finished 3 miles and then Katie's waiting because she has 5. So it's a little weird to think that what we've been running during the week is now our long run. But we are 1 week away. At this point, it's like almost 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, we started late.
We'll be in the thick of it.
We'll be like almost 3 hours in. Maybe. Yeah. Over halfway. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Somewhere in there. Depending on how things go. But yeah. So gonna hit you with some thoughts and feelings of this training cycle as we hit each of these 5 miles. So we'll be back with something motivational, sappy, I don't know, at mile 1. Okay, see you then. Mile 1 done. Ooh, as I fall off the trail. Okay, so first question we have is, what has been some highlight experiences or highlight runs? So Katie, go first.
Okay, so
I'm making her answer on the running part.
Thanks. First was our run through DC. It's always the training run that I look forward to because everything's so new that it really breaks up the long distance. Plus it has a lot of stoplights, so it's forced breaks. Second is running around Disney World last weekend. That was a lot of fun. A lot of character stops. Saw things that I normally don't. Number 3 is more training specific, but heart rate training on my long runs to really focus on keeping my heart rate below a specific pace. And it's cool to see my improvement that way, where my paces are going up or faster, but my heart rate is still staying steady. So that's been really cool to see.
All right, so my first would be our 20-mile long run, where we both felt good. It was like good realization of the hard work we've been putting in this training cycle. And then the impromptu 5K we walked after, and that we ended up doing that with a big group of our running buddies here, so it was a lot of fun. And then I almost forgot, but being able to run in Paris during the Olympics, that was just really cool, and to be able to channel all the energy that was there. And it's still I put a bunch of the songs they would play on my playlist, and it brings me back to those moments. So yeah, I think that those are probably the 2 highlights that stand out the most. So we'll be back at mile 2. All right, our next question is, what has been the hardest or most challenging part of this training cycle? Do you know yours, Katie?
The running part?
No, just kidding. She likes those rest days.
Yeah. First off, the heat. This summer was brutal, but you just kind of have to adapt and listen to your body, change the plan as needed, but kind of get it done if you can. The other part was I had a lot of major life changes with the new job, and so there was about a month that I had to give myself grace and kind of adjust my training to fit my life instead of my life to fit my training, to better adapt, and then got back to it when I was able. What about you?
I think the hardest part was the long weekday runs, So in previous training plans, I've had a lot of long runs, like a lot of 16, 18, 20s. And this plan, I'm using a different plan this time. And I only had like 118 and 20. I had a lot less, like my build was slower, but my weekday miles were a lot. So getting comfortable with like, I'm gonna run 7 miles on a Wednesday and there's gonna be some hard in there. So I feel like that was definitely different for me and actually doing it, because I've had longer runs on plans before, but I always get scared. And I think like the other thing is like I definitely had some scarier paces and things, and really letting go, figuring out how to let go of the fear and the need to hit everything perfectly every time. I think when I was able to kind of embrace not every run's gonna go perfectly, and that's okay, and do the best you can, especially in the summer heat, it made those speed workouts much more enjoyable. So, all right, onward to 3. 3. Question 3. Or thought 3. What has been the biggest lesson you've learned this training cycle?
Me.
You want to go first or you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
Do the scary stuff. Like the parts of the plan that you look at, like Kim kind of said earlier, it was like, I can't do it. Just try. It was an interval runner who very religiously stuck to 30-30. I had on my plan to run this 3 miles at a speedy pace for me and a 2-minute recovery, or 3 minutes, not 3 miles. And so I said, you know what? We're gonna try it. And I was able to do it and continue to do it for my 4 miles of speed, which then triggered, well, if I can run 3 minutes straight in a speed workout, I can up my intervals during a long run. And so now I'm doing more 40, sometimes 45, and I also have a new race plan to go with it. And I would have never figured out that if I had stuck to my intervals or said, no, I can't run 3 minutes, so I'm just not gonna do it. So yeah, what about you?
So for me, this training cycle has been focused not just on the training physically, but mentally. And I think that's made a world of difference. Last year, when I finished the New York City Marathon, I was so down on myself. I was so mean to myself during that race and during that training cycle. And I've really tried to combat those feelings. And at the end of the day, looking internally and thinking, wow, the way I'm talking to myself as a runner, if my friend or my sister was saying that about herself, I would tell them absolutely not. So I've focused on finding the joy and the positivity. And that doesn't mean that every run is positive or that every run is perfect. I have really embraced Alexi Pappas' rule of thirds, where a third of your runs are going to be dumpster fires. I'm changing it a little bit. A third of them are going to be fine, and a third of them are going to be great. So learn from the dumpster fires, chug through the fine ones, and embrace the joy in the great ones. So I think that's really been life-changing in terms of how I've been training this training cycle. And I feel really good going into the marathon, no matter the outcome either. Like, I am capable of big goals. and why not me? So those mantras will be with me. Yeah, so we'll see you at mile 4. We got 2 more to go. 4 down. Now we're gonna talk about what our race day strategy or plan is gonna be. And we are not running together, so we each have some different goals. I mean, I think we each have a super A goal of PRing, right?
Yes.
Yes. Earlier, Katie was like, I can't talk about races anymore.
Oh,
I forget.
what's coming on that?
It's that weird feeling, I don't know if anyone's felt this way, when you're tapering, that you're like, you forget that next week we're running a marathon. Especially because
like it should be a month
our legs feel like baby giraffe legs today. So, alright. So, my race plan is to gun it. No. I'm gonna follow and really try to start smart and finish stronger than I started. So, Fiona O'Keefe says one of her mantras is run the first half with your head and the second half with your heart. So I feel like that's a really good way to think about it. But I'm gonna change the second half. Like, yeah, heart can be involved. Yay. But I'm also gonna channel Des Linden. I'm gonna get gritty out there. Whatever that means. I'm just gonna run like Des Linden. And I was listening to her and Kara's podcast today, and she was talking about how she wasn't quite sure she was gonna hit a sub 2:30 in New York, but she thought it was close, so she just went for it in that last bit. So that's gonna be my reminder. Even if you're not sure, do like Des, get gritty and go for it. Okay, Katie, what about you?
How am I supposed to follow up with that? Well, mine is first and foremost to just go out and have fun. Yeah, I have my A, B, and C goals, but like at the end of the day, I want to be able to finish that race and say, oh my god, that was fun. Like, I have been training for so long for this race, and it's been hard. Like, this is a celebration. I want to go out and make it a celebration. So yeah, still shooting for those goals, but also have fun. And if I want to go and play around on the course and throw time goals out the window, I say, bye Kim, I'll see you in a couple more hours than originally planned, and I'll show up eventually.
Maybe that'll be me. Maybe Katie will pass me at some point, and I'll be doing fireball shots. I don't know. But I think the most important thing leading up to this is to remember we've done the hard work.
Yep.
We've given ourselves the best shots. We're, you know,
We can't go back and change the past
Yes.
now. So we have to make race day what we want it to be. And personally, I'm choosing fun and
Yes.
happiness. And if I get a PR, great. But at the end of the day, a PR means nothing to anybody but myself.
exactly.
So if I feel the pressure of that too much, that it's taking away from my experience, I don't want it.
Yep.
It's not meant for that day. And there are other races.
Yeah, exactly. And my coach has me do my race plan, and I give my goals. A and B goals are time, and C goal is not allowed to be time focused. It can be, you know, mine, I think, was to have fun, to smile throughout the race, to find the joy, and to finish strong. And then she says, the trick is you take that seagull and you put it to the top. So if you're doing all of that, it's gonna make it easier to hit your A or your B goal. And honestly, we can only control what we can control. So
if the Savannah bananas are out.
If the Savannah bananas are out,
a dance break.
Yeah, I mean, I might just stay there the rest of the race.
Right? We gotta try out for the banana nanas.
Yeah.
In the middle of the race.
We're ready, Savannah bananas.
Yeah.
Do you need like marathon bananas? Like we could do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would do. Dance in banana costumes and hand out bananas. You know, we're there for it. But yeah, I think we're both in good headspaces about this and happy with our progress and how it's been. So now that we've basically talked for a half a mile, we'll see you in a half a mile at the finish. Yay! Hi. Oh, it's Melissa. She's alive.
Hello, Melissa.
We're on a baseball field right now.
Wrong door.
Wrong door. I'm going to the dugout. So we never said goodbye after our 5 miles. And now we just came to the baseball field because we're going to be running in Savannah. So we had to do a little Savannah banana dance. And yeah, it's marathon week. We leave in 2 days, but we're ready. And yeah, so thank you everyone for coming along on this journey with us.
Thank you.
And supporting us and cheering us on. This might be the end of the series. We might pop back on for Dopey. Maybe Melissa will come run with us one time in the winter. You never know, but I think we will sign off and we'll see you in Savannah. Hey, hey, Savannah. Ooh, we want to know, will you be our marathon? Woohoo! Thanks for watching.